it's a great pleasure that I can introduce to you Olivier, who is not just my personal friend, he's also a former corporate executive from the food industry, but turned entrepreneur, so he went on a good side now.
The right side of the force. Thank you very much.
Well, I prepared a set of questions for you today. The topic is Nutricosmetics, and the first one is why the cosmetic industry is not as willing to develop eatable cosmetics compared to their heritage products.
The first thing that comes to mind is, what do companies do? Usually, what do they do? I mean, why do you have a company?
Well, you sell products.
And you make money, right?
Yeah,
okay.
That's obvious.
Yeah, well, so I would say probably point number one, reason number one, because companies don't think that the size of the market or the level of profit that they could make out of this is interesting enough.
So you think the nutricosmetic market is still small, very niche?
If you're looking at a big nutricosmetic company or cosmetic company, moving into nutricosmetic, there needs to be a big incentive for them. And size of the market and money they can make, that's one. That's reason number one, in my opinion. Reason number two, obviously, has to do with the culture. So if you're a cosmetic company for years, decades, some of them, you've hired, trained people to do certain things, to think certain ways, to work certain ways, and so on. And thinking, working, learning cosmetics is different than nutricosmetics. So again, it's not easy. The company culture makes it easier for them to continue in a direction that they know well, which is basically from outside to the skin, rather than from inside towards the skin, for instance.
But do you think, sorry, just apologize, but do you think that they can use the same point of sales?
That's my third point. Second point is culture. So you have, if you're a big company, you have tens of thousands of people working for you. Changing their way of working, changing their way of thinking, changing their way of communicating. It's a lot of hassle. Again, that's probably reason number two. Now, reason number three is supply chain and route to market. Let's say it's not the biggest hurdle, I think, because supply chain, you could produce nutricosmetics. It's not that far from cosmetics. It's possible.
It's the same ingredient.
Yeah, it's the same ingredient, but production lines could be adjusted, or you could buy some very simple production lines. So but then comes where do you sell these products? And for cosmetic companies, they are used to high price by kilo, for instance. So cosmetic, if you take a cream, if you take some high quality cosmetics, they really cost a lot of money by kilo. And here we're talking about products which are much lower in terms of price by kilo. So how do you motivate the vendors of your products to go for products which basically make less dollars by item, or less dollars by shelf space? So that's also another potential hurdle. But by far, I think it's reason number one. So if the size of the cake is not big enough, it's going to be difficult to motivate cosmetic companies to move towards nutricosmetics.
But for me, it's interesting that an industry that is very lucrative for a food industry compared to a food industry is not lucrative enough for the cosmetic industry. And this point is...
But we'll talk, if you want, we can talk about the food industry as well.
Why do you think that they are in nutricosmetics?
Well, are they in nutricosmetic, the food companies?
Well, they sell collagen products, for example.
Yeah, but it's not let's think about food industry. Now let's talk about the biggies. The Nestle of this world, the Coca-Cola of this world, and so on. Here is the opposite as what I said before. What is food company? Food companies are companies that sell cheap price by kilo, that have to be sold everywhere. Think Coca-Cola, the motto of Coca-Cola was everywhere, anytime, so you can, and high rotation. So this is really what food companies. So basically you have products which do not make a high percentage of EBIT, for instance, but you sell a lot and you have a big rotation. Okay, so here the Nutricosmetic is the opposite. So it's expensive by kilo compared to chips or Coca-Cola or whatever.
Okay, one question I raise now, because you said that the turnover, so basically if you sell a cream and somebody is using it for what, 70 to 80 days, for example, but if you sell collagen, they will use it for 3 weeks and then they need to buy another bottle. So basically the outcome or the profit is maybe much bigger.
Maybe, but the number of people you will have to convince to try is what will make the market. So at the moment, these cosmetic companies, they have their clients, you know, they have people you don't need to convince, because convincing people to imagine Garnier tomorrow would go into collagen, they would need to invest a lot of money to tell their clients, okay, oh guys, by the way, we have also collagen. So this is an investment. I mean, we're talking about huge amount of money. So what I'm saying is that the day they will judge that the cake is big enough, they might go into it, but it's a lot of changes compared to their traditional business model.
Basically, the consumer will be the one that will drive them into the new segments.
Probably some companies will educate the consumers. They will do the job of introducing a product. And when the consumer has been educated, then the big guys, they can either purchase these companies or decide to go on their own. This is, you know, I don't know, craft beer. If you think about craft beer, you know, it's not big company that started craft beer, but then as soon as it started to be big, then you had big companies who bought craft beer. So this is a bit the way I see it.
If I draw a parallel now to craft beer, you also, as an entrepreneur, you entered into the yoga slash topical cosmetics slash ingestible cosmetics. So what is easier to sell, topical or ingestible, now that you're an entrepreneur?
What is easy to do, okay, as a person? Okay, come on. We both work in the poultry industry, right?
Yeah, well, for some time. Yeah.
Pretty shitty business, okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
no margins.
No, but I'm not talking about this. Okay, yes, margins and so on, but I'm talking about how did you feel? I don't know, but if you're like me, working in the poultry industry was not the most glorious part of my life in terms of respecting the type of work, of the type of products that I was working on. Let's be very honest, okay? So for me, what's interesting is having started this company, which is about face yoga, which is about cosmetics, which is about also Nutricosmetics, is very interesting because I can tell the truth in a sense that the product that we offer, we really know that they are good. And for me, you know, selling liquid collagen, okay, or selling hyaluronic acid, both products are really high quality. And we know they work just by the feedback we get from our clients. If you do something good for people, it makes your life better. That's what I think. So if you ask me, is it better, easier to be selling the liquid collagen that you produce for me, or the hyaluronic acid, or the peptides, or the very good quality oil, as long as it's good for my clients and as long as it works, it feels good. Okay. And I don't have the problem of being either a cosmetic or a food company. You know, I start. So for me, what's the difference between Nutricosmetic and cosmetics? There's no difference. As long as it's good for my clients, it's a good business, it's a good product. So as long as you sell products which you feel good about yourself, and your clients recognize that it's good for them, this is great. Okay. So I don't have a problem in both cases.
So now that I heard that you have experience on both sides, I have a provocative question. Who's going to win this game of Nutricosmetics food industry entering nutricosmetics or cosmetics entering nutricosmetics? Who does a better execution, by your opinion?
I think it's going to be companies that will focus on nutricosmetics. So either they already exist or they will start. If you look at, two companies come to mind. Nu Skin, okay, this is this American company. These guys, they started online, you know. Okay. So they started first with a product to help your beauty and so on, but they very soon developed some cosmetics, and they have their own collagen. And these guys, they started online, and now they're in Walmart. You have another company called Duo Life. These guys, they started online, then they went to multi-level marketing, okay, and they are in Poland, so that's why I know them as well. They are also launching their own collagen, drinking collagen, okay? So I think that, as I said before, these guys, they will be the ones who will succeed. And then either, again, they will be bought over, but will it be by cosmetic, will it be by food? I don't know. It depends who will be more interested in it. I think it's probably easier for the cosmetic companies to go in this direction than for the food company, for the reason that I mentioned before. The typical point of sale of food is maybe not the most adapted to collagen due to the high price that these products fetch. When you go shopping, you know, you buy your toilet paper, your whatever chips, whatever, okay, you're not very often paying 25 euros, or at least not 25 euros by kilo. If you go to shop for cosmetic, you know that you're going to spend this amount of money. So it's, and on top, it's about beauty. When the people, they know that food can be good or bad for them, but I'm not sure yet that this idea that food can really have an effect on your health, on your skin and so on. I think it's a long way to go. Whereas moving from cosmetic products, which they claim are good for their skin and so on, to drink it and it's going to be good for you, is probably an easier step than the food one.
So my last question. You were mentioning brands going from online sales into Walmart or multi-level. So do you think that there is space for both execution for one brand, or should it be like separate brands, one doing high-end department store, the other one going into the mass? Or can you do everything with Nutricosmetics?
It's, again, if there is money to be made, there will be solutions found. I think, you know, adapting a product to the place where you sell it is pretty easy. Everybody's done it before. So again, I think about Coca-Cola, you know, they sell you the 2-liter bottle in the supermarket, and then you have the small one, even at the bar and so on. So this is not difficult. Okay. It's more about, again, the size of the price. If it's big enough, at the end of the day, if you make a lot of money and companies are convinced that they can make money, then their interest will be to be everywhere.
Well, thank you for this quick chat. It was very informative.
Pleasure.
And I really appreciate that you came here today. And I hope that the flies will go away soon. So
thank you very much.
Thank you for watching us.